This video is for my engineering classes. I want to show you how I'm going to use Adobe Premiere Pro to evaluate the performance of your Mousetrap cars. The Adobe Premiere Pro is software that you have access to, so you can do the exact same thing if you wish to make use of this software to edit your videos for the for your write-up about it, the written portion of this. So when you first open it up, you get this thing with the tutorial. You can ignore that and just click New Project. You got to give it a name and pay attention to where it's saving it. For instance, that's definitely not where I want to save this. So I'm going to browse. I'm going to actually just drop it in the downloads folder for this particular user that I'm logged in as, which is me. And you have to give it a name. So example, Mousetrap video. And then it's a little irritating. Sometimes you have to move the windows around like this to get them to, so you can reach the bottom. Click OK. And so this launches Adobe Premiere Pro. Now, I have already recorded a video. I'm going to talk a little bit about what I look for in that video. And I recorded it on my phone, and then I emailed it to myself, and then I downloaded it. This is actually a video I got from Bianca Perez. She's completed her project already, believe it or not. Anyway, so to get something into Adobe Premiere Pro, down here in the bottom right corner, the project box, you double-click that, and it gets you to a browser. And here's one, Bianca Perez. I had it in my downloads, so it already went there. This is standard stuff. You can look around in your computer to find the file, but typically it'll be in your downloads. Click Open, and it puts an item over here. Now, to edit it, you have to click and drag that over to here. So I clicked and dragged it over here. The video, we get a preview here, and then we get a little bit of this is the editing space here, where the editing tools are over here on the left. I say here, I'm assuming that Loom is recording where my cursor is. It may not be. We'll find out as we go along. This bar at the bottom here, underneath this area where I dragged that to, if you make it smaller, you kind of zoom in time-wise on the video. So now this is the beginning of the video there, and the end is there. And if you click play up here, it'll just play it. So it plays it along. So it goes backwards and forwards there. Now, I want to talk about that video for a second. There's some really important details here that you need to make sure you follow when you create a video to be any use for this activity. One of them, you'll notice she's on the far side from where I'm sitting. Those are my shoe tips there. So I'm holding the camera up over my head. I can see the car clearly. I can see her hands clearly. I can see the 3 tape marks. I can see to the left and right of the tape marks. All very clear. That's what you want. You don't want to have anybody standing in the way. You want to be able to see past the ends because the car might exceed those limits. And you'll notice I don't try to follow the car as it moves back and forth. I hold the camera still so that I can see things moving around there. So that's the way that that video is recorded. All very clear. I can very clearly see the moment she lets go. Now, talk about that a little bit. Down here in the editing area, when you have this selection tool chosen, you can just click on an item and delete it. Now, there is this right here, the linked selection. If you have that, sorry, let me unclick there for now. If you have linked selection chosen, then when you click on one part of it, it's going to click the whole thing. You don't want that, so you want to turn off linked selection because I don't really need the sound. I'm just going to delete that. Not that that matters. You don't have to delete the sound from your videos, but I wanted to show you could do that. If you unlink it and you use the selection tool, you can just click on it and hit delete. Next, I can click this bar and drag it, and I can look at the video up here at the top while I am sliding this back and forth. And I can kind of find out about where she's letting go of that thing, right? And then what's really cool is I can actually use the arrow keys in the bottom right of my keyboard here. And each click of the arrow key, if you'll notice right here, advances 1/30th of a second. I would say right there she's releasing the car. Her hand is definitely off of it at that point. You can actually zoom in some on this stuff. I forget how exactly, but it is possible to zoom in. Let's see, it's here. So if I do 100%, yeah, that's too close. 150. Oh, wait, that's going in. Go back down, go to 75. Right here, if I wanted to zoom in and see, and you can use these sliders to move what you're looking at. So gives you the opportunity to kind of look at the video in a lot of different ways. So if I wanted to really establish the instant she lets it go, now that I've zoomed in to 75%, I can actually, let's see what it looks like at 50%. Oh no, 50% is the wrong way. 100%, 100% looks like it's pretty good. So I move that to the center there and move that to the center there by moving these sliders. And now I can really see her hand very clearly, and now I can use the arrow key to step forward. Right there, she's clearly let go of it. That's the beginning of the video. So now what I actually do is I'll come over here to the tools, and I'll select this razor tool. And then you can hover that razor tool more or less over this line right here. And when you click, it actually cuts it at that line. Now I can take the selection tool here, and if I wanted to, I could click on this little fragment at the beginning and delete that, and then slide the whole video back over this way. So now the video literally begins at the instant that she releases it, like this. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to fit here because I want to see both ends, and I'm going to arrow it forward until it reverses. In her case, and again, I'll probably go in here, zoom in some, move this over. Oh, you know what I need to pay attention to? Let me go back to the very beginning. At the beginning, I make note of what part of her car is on the center of this piece of tape. Or in her case, it's on this right-hand edge of the tape. So everything I'm going to do is going to be based on the right-hand edge of that tape, the right-hand edge of that tape, and the right-hand edge of the other tape. Her axle is right there at the right-hand edge of that tape. So her axle is what I'm going to judge how this does in terms of its reversal. So ideally, it would reverse right there. It goes a little tiny bit past. I have to tell you, though, this is exceptionally good performance. It doesn't even cover the tape all the way. So she's within an inch, or maybe an inch and a half, of being right at 3 feet at her reversal. And I can tell right there is the moment it's the farthest away, because one step it's moving to the left, it's moving to the left, it seems to sit still, and now it's moving to the right. So that still frame right there is the instant of reversal. So I can evaluate, and I would probably say an inch. She came within an inch of 3 feet exactly. So that's really good, by the way. If you guys have been practicing this, you'd know. All right, so then I would record that. That goes into her accuracy evaluation. Now in terms of time, all I have to do is move it forward. And again, I'm just clicking the arrow key because it's, a 30th of a second here. So a 30th of a second, somewhere between there and there is when her rear axle actually passes the finish line. It's not there. It is crossed there. Again, I could always zoom in to determine if I wanted to change this back to 100%. Move the slider over here so I can see this part of it. Zoom up some, and then arrow back one. Yeah, that's definitely not crossed yet, and now it definitely is crossed there. So this number right here, 3:03, 3 minutes and 3/30ths of a second, so 3.1 seconds is her total elapsed time, and that's how I'll evaluate that. I can go ahead with the razor tool and cut the video here, but I've actually discovered that if you play it in something else, it actually needs a couple of more seconds of playtime on there to actually work out. So I'll probably move it, not seconds, a couple more moments. So I did 2 more frames. Let's go 3 more frames past, and I'll cut the video there. And so that's a video that's perfectly fine now for use in evaluation. I can see the instant she releases it. Let me go back to fit here. I can see the instant she releases it. I can see when it changes direction, and I can see how it does at the end. So I can stop that, and I can arrow back to get the exact time. So that's how I do that video. Now, if I wanted to keep this video elsewhere, I have to export the edited clip. To do that, you go to File, you go to Export, Media. It takes a moment for the pop-up to come up. The export settings, H.264, is the standard that's used for YouTube. So I find it very useful. It's very portable. You can move it around a lot. One thing that's a little bit irritating is you might have this window sitting like that. And then when you try to drag it up, you can't see the word Q down at the bottom, but you're going to need to be able to click this Q button eventually. Or not the Q button, the export button eventually. What I did to solve that was I pulled it down a little bit, and I actually made the window a little shorter, like this. And then now I can move it up, and I can see the whole thing. Before, it was like maybe this big, and when I dragged it up, I couldn't. I was like, oh, this is so irritating. I can't get to the export button. So if you're running into that problem, bring the window down, resize it just a little bit, then drag it back up again, and you should be able to get to that. The other thing you need to do, other than choosing the format, is you need to click the output name here and browse to where you want to save it. Here, I'm going to be saving it actually on my C drive, under Users, Public Documents, Engineering folder, and she's in period 3. And then I'll probably, here I'm going to have to make a new folder to put it in. New folder. Mousetrap Car videos. And then it's got a name here, Bianca Perez Mouse 1. And I can click Save. It takes it a few moments. It saves that. Then you have to click Export down here. It has not actually saved it yet. Click Export. Now what it's going to do is going to take a few moments to encode this video as that, and then it shows you where you saved it briefly. This didn't stay up for long. It goes away on its own. But now I have that video saved elsewhere, and I can make use of it. So that's a quick rundown. One last thing I want to mention. You guys have iPhones. I have an Android. My Android automatically records in a format that is portable, that I can move into other utilities, and it works. There are 2 formats that iPhones use for videos. Let's see, iPhone video format. One of them is HEIC. Oh wait, the default recording is H.264? Really? That's hard for me to believe, because I've gotten it in the HEIC, HEVC format, all kinds of different stuff. The one that I've seen before, or saw today, was .tc files. .tc files have to be converted. They will not automatically turn into files that PremierePro can edit. So if you got the .tc files or the .heic files, either of those, you want to convert them to not JPEGs, but to MPEG-4s or H.264. Either one works. But the HEIC files will not automatically go into PremierePro, I don't think. Now, do you have to use PremierePro? No, you absolutely do not have to use PremierePro. I'm just telling you that it's available to you. It's super powerful software. It's easy to use. And you've just had a tutorial on it. So if you want to try using, Apple Movie or any of those things, or Apple iMovie, I think is what it's called. Anyway, if you want to use those, you're perfectly free to do so. But you need to make sure that when you finally save it somewhere, it's in a format that this computer can read, not just something that you can read on your computer, your Mac. I need to be able to open it and evaluate it. So that's this video. Thanks for your time. See you guys later.